In today's video, I submitted an obviously fake speedrun to speedrun.com. I used creative mode, cheats, and editing to get a world record time of 11 minutes and 36 seconds. Today I show you how I fabricated the run and if the moderators were stupid enough to accept the run. If you do end up enjoying this video and want to watch more of my content, I have a Twitch which will be linked in the description and you can join my Discord. Let's get into it. So I wanted to start off with this speedrun looking pretty realistic, so I decided to load into a world without cheats, and then just before the world loads in, it would cut to a world that I had loaded in with cheats, so I could easily go into creative mode, while it's still looking like I hadn't activated cheats. So the footage you're looking at now is the spliced world creation, so you can see it's a normal world creation, it's going up to 100%, and it was the same world creation as the one with no cheats. But as you can see, when I load in here, this is the cheated world, as you can see by the nether portal. So after the world creation splice, I spent a lot of time setting up for different splices, for example the flint and steel one, which was unbelievably obvious. However, I was trying to make this obvious so it was perfect. Now after I had a quick stroll around the nether, I realised that I needed to get to the stronghold very quickly, or otherwise I was not going to be able to beat the world record, because I'm not very good at Minecraft, and it would take me a while to beat the Ender Dragon, even with netherite armour. Now after this comes one of my favourite cuts in the whole speedrun, and this is the ender pearl cut, and it is very obvious, but it's not obvious for the same reason as the other ones. It's obvious because I'd never be able to throw an ender pearl into a stronghold like that, but it is a very clean cut, so you wouldn't be able to tell, aside from the increase in hearts as you can see now. So personally, that is one of my favourite cuts, even though it's very obvious. So after this, I just walked around the end for a bit and tried to kill the Ender Dragon, and I knew that it was going to take me the majority of the speedrun to kill the Ender Dragon. So I spent a lot of time going up to the towers, destroying the end crystals, and as you can see here, I pulled off a pretty good MLG water bucket. And yeah, I just walked around the nether, and finally, I killed the Ender Dragon. And now I was ready to edit the raw footage. So as you can see here, I am trimming down footage, I'm importing stuff, and I'm making splices between different events, so I can make the speedrun as short as possible. Now, the one issue I had was, I hadn't actually timed how long the speedrun was going to be. So I was trying to get a world record, but I could have been completely off by maybe 3 or 4 minutes. So really, it was just a game of me hoping that I had got a quick enough time to beat the world record. So all in all, the raw footage was about 36 minutes, and I was editing it for about 45. And I managed to get it down to a world record pace, which I was very, very happy with. And despite the fact that I hadn't actually done any speedrunning, it was still scary, hoping that I'd got a good enough time to get a world record. And yeah, so I was editing for a while, and as you can see here, I got a world record time. In total, I managed to complete the game in around about 11 minutes, 36 seconds, and 51 milliseconds. The final thing I needed to do to complete the process of submitting a speedrun was to actually submit it. I submitted it into the Minecraft Java any% glitchless category as a world record time speedrun. Now what I didn't know at this point was, even though it allowed me to select Optifine as a mod that I used, 1.16 plus runs weren't allowed to use Optifine. So I submitted this without actually knowing that I just admitted to breaking the rules of a 1.16 speedrun. As you can see here, the rules state that Optifine is banned for runs that are 1.16 plus. But if we take a closer look at all of the rules, we figure out that I broke a total of 23 while making my speedrun. So I submitted the speedrun hoping that it would get accepted, but in my heart knowing that it just wouldn't. And on the Speedrun website, it says that applications take around about 1 to 3 weeks to be moderated. So I was going to be waiting a while, so I just left it be. I had submitted this run 2 days before the end of 2020, so I was expecting to be waiting into 2021 before I got my results. However, by exactly 23 minutes past midnight, I had had my results back. Obviously, I had been preparing for my run to be rejected, because it was obviously faked. However, I was not prepared for the reason why it got rejected. My run had been rejected for using Optifine. Bear in mind that I was claiming to have got a first place run, world record time by almost 3 minutes, and it was rejected for using Optifine. So for a minute, let's just forget that I completely faked the run. Let's think about if I had actually gotten an 11-minute time. Why was it rejected for using Optifine? If the moderator who had rejected my run had actually watched the run, he would have known that Optifine wasn't the reason it should have been rejected. He should have rejected it for completely fabricating a world record speedrun. I found it very strange how even though the moderator had not actually watched the run, so they had no way of knowing it was fake, they rejected a potential world record run for using Optifine. So I began looking into why it was not allowed for 1.16 plus speedruns. And thanks to a man by the name of Pooply, I discovered why. Pooply states that the reason for an Optifine ban is because it changes the game too much. If you look into Optifine, there is much more than just zoom. There's lazy chunk loading, clear water, it disables fog, and finally, fast math. Now I looked into what fast math is, and I discovered that it's actually a form of reach hacks. Okay, now, when I say reach hacks, you think I'm going to be able to hit people from 10 blocks away. But fast math gives me as big as a 0.000253 block advantage over other players, which is so insignificant that you could not even tell it was there without some sort of reach tracker. I would get into fast math, but I fear I might lose some of you if I do. So I'm just going to put it simply. Fast math can... Why the hell is my desk covered in blood? Okay, roll good. To put it simply, fast math can determine your block reach depending on the angle you are facing your target. So this could give you an advantage or a disadvantage, it just depends on the angle you are facing the target. So for it to be banned in speedrunning, even though the advantage is so slight that most reach mods can't even track it, is absolutely absurd. Now, because the moderator didn't actually know I hadn't got a world record, I decided to try to appeal it. However, after many failed attempts, I was shut down, and I knew that my run would never be accepted. So that concludes my adventure of submitting an obviously faked world record speedrun. And even though I didn't get the wanted result of the mod seeing my video and then commenting on how fake it was, we actually discovered something quite interesting. Even if you have had a world record time by more than 3 minutes, the mods will reject it no matter what, even if you have broken one tiny rule. And I've got to give respect to the mods who do that, because to reject a world record time for using Optifine, you've got to be pretty dedicated to keeping it 100% clean. So honestly, I think all the mods that do their jobs correctly like that are really good and should be kept as mods for the Minecraft Java speedrunning community. So yeah, Random Idiot 13, I'm a bit gutted that you didn't watch my fake speedrun, but I gotta be fair to you, you did a very good job in rejecting a world record run just for using Optifine. So, yeah, I think he has a YouTube channel or something like that. So, yeah, go subscribe to him. He's a really good speedrunning mod.